Are you ready for some Prism football? That's all we're breaking tonight, just the one thing. So as soon as we go over a little information, we'll be right into it. But first things first. My feedback is automated on eBay, and I do that so you don't ever have to wait on me. So basically it means this: anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you are instantly going to get positive feedback in return. We all love automation, especially when it works. And of course, far more important is a big thank you. Appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, hanging out with me on this rainy Thursday night, a week from Thanksgiving no less. We're taking a look now at what's coming up in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, we're going to start early, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. We'll open a half case of Hoops basketball. Please remember, Veteran Base does not ship to the teams in that break. It has its own bidding category, and you can find all the information about that in the listing description. Both Saturday and Sunday are off nights. On Monday, though, we'll get back to it with a vengeance. We're going to open a half case of Leaf Autograph Mini Football helmets, some Flawless Baseball by the half case, Immaculate Football by the full case, and High Tech Baseball full case. On Tuesday night, we'll do a half case of Leaf Autograph Football jerseys, full case of Leaf Best of Baseball. We'll do an 8-box inner case of Playbook Football and a 9-box inner case of Triple Threads Baseball. We are going to break on Thanksgiving, or rather the day before Thanksgiving on the 27th, but I'm not quite sure what it's going to be yet, so that'll be listed in the days ahead. I've got to see whether or not they're going to keep our new releases for that date or if they're going to move them out. So we should know that probably tomorrow. Then on Thursday, which is Thanksgiving, we will be opening a case of Leaf Autograph full-size football helmets and a half case of Heritage High Number Baseball, which we haven't opened in a while. Does that say 2019? Okay, just had to make sure. So for what we're opening tonight, Prism Football, I'm projecting it out for Tuesday. As you noticed, I'm off Saturday and Sunday. I've got family coming in from out of town and will not be able to do much in the way of shipping or listing or messaging or any of that on Saturday and Sunday. So as such, I'm projecting that Prism Football will be out the door Tuesday. And if I can possibly manage to sneak away and get a little work done over the weekend, it might get out a little sooner. But if not, plan on Tuesday. Everybody's going to pull cards in here, so we don't need to worry about consolation cards in this particular break. All the cards are shipping as well, including the massive amount of base that is in here. So yeah, we don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. So this is a 12-box case break of 2019 Prism Football. This is break number 4. Everything we're opening tonight ended tonight on eBay, Thursday night, the 21st of November. And we have team names there on the left-hand side, winning bidders across from each team on the opposite side. And what else? I guess that's all the news to use. I think that's all the stuff we have to go over. We're ready to get ripping into this thing. Other than one little thing I've got to change up here, and that's the focus. I'm going to take autofocus off, manually adjusting the focus. That is why your background is blurry, right? I did that on purpose, and you're probably thinking, why? Why would you make my background blurry? Well, it's because it will let us see our cards up a lot closer and without all that pesky zooming in and out that you get with autofocus. Well, there we go. So first things first, I got to get all these boxes out of this case. While I'm doing that, we can talk a little bit about what's in here. There will be 3 autographs per box on average. Panini always likes to say on average because sometimes one of our hits gets replaced with a points card. If that happens tonight, the points card will be given out using random.org at the end of the break. There will also be, on average, 1 silver prism per box. So we should be looking for about 12 of those in total in the break. And then there's all kinds of other inserts. And through our first box, we'll go a little bit slower and spend a little time talking about those inserts. and learning what they're numbered to and all that stuff. And then as we go through subsequent boxes, we'll speed it up a little. We won't poke along as slowly through some of the rest of it. So this break takes a reasonable amount of time. Even when we get clipping through it pretty good, it's probably still about an hour and a half to get through it, something like that. So if you don't have a snack or a beverage, or you need to walk the dog or whatever, now's the time to do it while I'm getting all this stuff out of packs. I do love this product, but man, do I hate to sort it because there are so many cards. It takes about, believe it or not, it only takes an hour and a half to break it, right? But by the time you sort it, it takes about 2 hours to sort, somewhere in that neighborhood, hour and a half, 2 hours, I don't know, depending. And then it takes another couple of hours to actually get it ready to ship and get the labels printed and get it out the door. So every time we break a case of this, it's probably, I don't know, that's 6 hours maybe in total, 6 or 7. Counting the breaking, of course. I guess actually, yeah, counting the breaking is probably closer to 7, but I do love the product, but man, I wish they had fewer cards in here. But of course, that's what every breaker anywhere would ever say about a product that has a lot of cards in it, because they're terrible to have to sort. They're fun to break, but ooh, they're not fun to sort. Not at all. All right, so we're just going to buzz through our base at a pretty good little clip. Now, I will point out that sometimes these have little imperfections in their corners and such. I imagine most of you are familiar with that. They don't always come out of the pack minty mint and perfect. But on the off chance that someone isn't, I'm letting you know. This is our first silver prism of the night. Heads to the Colts. It's Paris Campbell. Anytime you see this particular color pattern, it's kind of a green and yellow. I don't remember what the actual pattern name is, but anyway, that color combination there is going to be to 175 when you see it. And what else? That, of course, those inserts, brilliance. If they're not prisms or they're not numbered, we'll buzz on past them. This is numbered to 149. There's your red wave. And there'll be other numbered stuff. We'll find a lot of those little advertising cards too. But yeah, so some of this stuff just doesn't come out perfect. And the imperfections, when they are there, are usually kind of minor. And typically it'll be in maybe a certain pack or something. Just will, all the cards will have a little imperfection. And I do generally point that out, but I did have someone recently who got, I don't know, several teams, 3 or 4 teams probably. So he had several hundred cards, and out of the several hundred cards, there were 4 or 5 that had imperfections on the corners. And so now he's kind of asking for his entire order to be returned and refunded because of 4 or 5 base cards that are worth about $5 collectively. So I'm trying to make sure to remember to point things out now. This is numbered to 199 for the Bengals. And then we have next up got a green scope Derwin James for the Chargers. That one is numbered to 75. So I think what I might do here, maybe we will just leave the stuff that is lower, you know, maybe 75 and lower. That way you won't have to wait on me to stop so often. And then other stuff that I want to sleeve, I can do after the fact. So maybe we'll do the silver prisms, obviously the hits, and then some of the stuff that's lower numbered live. The rest of it we'll pick up later if it needs to be done. So anytime you see this orange color, that is going to be numbered to 249. That is typically going to be our highest number parallel that we'll see. There are still some lower numbered parallels that we have not pulled yet, but we will come across them. In fact, here is one. And that is Blue Ice, I believe we're calling that this year. Those are numbered to 99. Little Joe Montana there. There's a couple of other ones. There's a camo that'll be to 25. There's a different color blue one that the best I recall are numbered to 30. But again, we'll go a little slower through this first box and the first time we see those if it doesn't come in the first box. So to 175. Little advertising card there. Our first hit is for the Raiders. That is Clelin Ferrell. So Mr. Ferrell there is first hit out with an autograph for the Raiders. So I can't believe we're this far in and we just saw our first autograph. Somewhere hiding, we've got 2 more to find. There is to 199 Tennessee Titans with that blue wave. Our second autograph is for the New York Giants. This is Julian Love. Sensational Signatures is your card set. There's a nice little orange parallel to 249 for the Green Bay Packers. Even though we are flipping all of those right now because we are in the first box, in subsequent boxes, we're only going to flip over the ones that are lower numbered to get a look at, what the specific numbering is on the back. Otherwise, these others, we won't, the higher numbered stuff, we won't necessarily flip it over as we go along. Believe it or not, all that does add up. As many numbered cards as are in here, it will save us about 15 minutes to not do that. Easton Stick and the Chargers. Our third autograph out of box number 1. So we are 1 down, 11 to go. Not sure yet if we're really going to have new releases next week or not. We might have one coming for Absolute Basketball. Is still scheduled as of today to come out the day before Thanksgiving. But my feeling is that may not happen. They may move that because it's unusual to have a product come out on a short work week like that. But we'll see what they say. And then one rep said something to me about National Treasures Baseball. But I didn't think that was ever scheduled for next week. So he might have meant, I don't know what he meant by that. I don't know if he meant it was time to order it or that it really is time to come in. I don't know. I've ordered so much stuff so far in advance. It is hard to keep track. And lately, Panini's been pushing their orders a little farther out than they used to. Topps has always been, you have to order about 6 months in advance. But with Panini, some products, might be a month and a half, usually around 2 months. And lately, they seem like they've been pushing things out a little farther. So it makes it really hard for my poor old brain to try to remember all that stuff. And then they change the dates on you 100 different times and all that. All right, so to 175, and that's probably the last time we'll flip that particular color pattern. I think we're all pretty in tune now with the fact that those are to 175. These are to 149. It'll probably be the last one of those that we flip. Just for the sake of, keeping the flow going and not keeping you here all night doing this. Our silver prism out of box number 2 is the Detroit Lions with Ty Johnson. So the Lions coming up with a silver prism. And there's a little red Kyler Murray. Well, we'll flip him just because it's Kyler Murray. We know he's to 149, but now you specifically know that it is card number 8 of 149. So how about that? Pretty low in the card count cycle there. And right as I say, we usually have one silver prism a box. Well, here's another one. This is Donta Hightower for the Patriots. Just about any time I say something like that, I'll say, oh, we don't usually find a lot of such and such or whatever. We'll promptly hit it like 17 times. It's just the way it works. First one of these we've seen, they are going to be numbered to 49. This one is Will Fuller and the Texans. I don't technically know what that pattern is called. Purple something. Purple. I don't know if that one's Purple Power, purple, whatever. It's got kind of a checkerboard design on it. But anyway, despite the fact that I can't remember the proper pattern name, you know what it is. And every time we see it, it will be numbered the same. So here's another one of our green scope, and those, of course, are to 75. We'll probably flip those most of the time just because they're fairly low numbered. You might have noticed that there was a points card that went past us a moment ago. And boy, we're going to just load up on the silver prisms. I don't remember ever finding 3 in a box before, but I think this is our third one out of here, isn't it? It's Hunter Renfrow for the Raiders. It's like magic. I say it and I get 10 times the amount. For the Bengals, it is to 249. So our points card, of course, has replaced one of the autograph hits in this box. And as I discussed right at the start of the break, we're just going to set that bad boy aside up here in our housekeeping area. At the very end of the night, that will be flipped over. And not flipped over. We don't need to flip it over. At the very end of the night, we will use random.org and give it a new home. N'Keal Harry with a silver prism for the Patriots. And I'm feeling like this is an unusual amount of silver prisms because, yeah, it is. Marcel Aitman and the Raiders to 249. Our other cases, we definitely did not have this quantity of silver prisms, so enjoy it out of this box. Numbered to 25, there is a camo Sony Michel. And anytime you see that camo pattern, you can expect it to be numbered to 25. And have we seen any autographs yet out of this box? We haven't, have we? No, that would replace one of them. So we should have 2 autographs left somewhere in this last little stack in my hand. In my hot little hands between that and that. Mr. Preston Williams for the Dolphins, whose signature always looks like it says pup. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with it, but that's how he signs his name, and that's headed to Miami. I see a blue on the horizon. The blue are to 199 as Alec Ogletree for the New York Giants. Should have one more autograph hanging out for us here somewhere in this stack. Instead, we have another silver prism. That is Greedy Williams for the Browns. And my little stack tried to slide over and take a holiday, didn't it? This is to 199, Gardner Minshew and the Jags. And that is weird, right? Because we got, we just got one autograph out of that whole box. And then we got this points card that would have replaced an autograph, meaning we got 2. The third one, we don't have at all. Instead of getting a third autograph, we got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 silver prisms out of there. Which is weird, but not only 1 live autograph and 1 point card. So see, that's why Panini says on average, because we didn't find what we should have found in that box. One of our autographs took a holiday on us in there. Meanwhile, we got 5 times the silver prisms that we normally get. So that whole box was oddly constructed. Hopefully it'll be the only one like that. I would hope. But I guess we'll be finding out, won't we? Has anybody else experienced that? Have you been in any other breaks or heard of any other breaks where they don't have the number of autographs they're supposed to have, but instead have a whole lot more silver prisms? Just out of curiosity, I wonder if it is a quote-unquote thing this year, or if we just happen to get a weird box. My other breaks of it, we haven't had that issue. But this is, what, our 4th case break of it, I think. somewhere in that general vicinity. I think this is the 4th one. All right, there's a silver Joey Bosa for the Chargers. And then numbered to 175, that's Nelson Agholor coming out for the Eagles. Everybody's so quiet tonight. Nobody's in chat. Everybody's just keeping to themselves tonight for some reason. That will be numbered to 99, Joejuan Williams for the Patriots. Whoops. An advertising card, it likes to stick to things. That's why I always flip it over. Check the back. Make sure nothing's stuck to it. Andy Isabella and the Arizona Cardinals, numbered to 75. First autograph out of box number 3 here. Give me 1 second. I'm rearranging a part of the way I have this separated over here. I need to create myself a little extra space. Over on the sorting side of things, right? Create a little room. Numbered to 149 for the Texans. That was DeAndre Hopkins. And numbered to 49, we've got Calais Campbell for the Jags. Charles, what did you ask me? Where are all the Bears cards? I don't know, man. We got to hit you some, don't we? We got to find some Bears cards for you. What you guys think today about the NFL ruling on the Myles Garrett appeal? They upheld the indefinite suspension. Like, that's a first for the NFL, an indefinite why can't I speak? There's a bear right on cue, right? That is numbered to 199. So what I'm trying to say is that's the first time they have ever had a suspension with no end date. I mean, that's so open-ended. It's just like indefinitely. Well, I mean, I don't blame him for appealing that. And then I guess he came out and said today in the ruling that Mason Rudolph had made a racial slur to him. There's the Giants to 249. And then the appeals committee said they found no evidence of that. Of course, Mason Rudolph denied it, and nobody else on the field apparently heard it. And apparently he didn't make any mention of it, Myles Garrett, until today at the appeals hearing. But that turned into a big thing. So I think that's going to be like the never-ending fight right there. I mean, Myles Garrett's one of the Browns' best defensive players. Joejuan Williams autograph for the Patriots. And they for sure have lost him through the end of this season. And, I mean, the way it stands right now could be into next season, which is, I think, kind of crazy. That's to 149. Lonnie Johnson Jr. for the Texans. I mean, definitely what he did was not cool. I don't think there's any question about that. But an indefinite suspension is, I mean, that's, whew, they're sending a message. We'll put it like that, I guess. We have our first gold of the night. The gold are numbered to 10. That is L.J. Collier for the Seahawks. And it was also numbered 1 out of 10 for those of you who care about that sort of thing. Start of the series. And I guess the only other action they took today, that's to 249 on the appeal for the Steelers player. They reduced his suspension to, I think, down from 3 games to 2, but still left the $35,000 or whatever dollar fine intact. It's to 199, Lorenzo Carter. I really thought they would amend Myles Garrett. I figured they would come back and say, okay, you're out for the rest of this year, right? You know, this year, postseason, regular season, everything, you're done. But then they would allow him to be finished and come back for 2020. But the way it stands right now, he has to, he'll have to go ask permission or something to even play in 2020. And just to think, 8 seconds to go, I think it was on the clock. All he had to do was just like keep it together for 8 seconds. But man, it's one of those games. It's physical, emotions run high, people get mad. It builds up over the course of a game, sometimes over the course of several games and several seasons. And then boom, there you go. It's like life, isn't it? Sometimes we just let things go and let them go, and then all of a sudden, somebody puts their wet towel on the floor and you yell at them like they stole all of your money and killed your pet, It happens. It happens. I would probably definitely be in fights every week if I had people, it gets rude out there, man. I mean, beyond just the tackling, you hear about all the stuff that happens down in the piles and whatnot. That is to 175 for the Redskins. So truthfully, I'm amazed there aren't more fights. Because even though it's just a game, I wouldn't want somebody pounding on me all day. It's just crazy. Looks like we're going to have a Green Bay Packer autograph for Dexter Williams coming up next. So that's a nice one for the Packers. Matt, you said that they're just teaching a lesson with Myles Garrett. I think you're right. I think they're definitely trying to send a message, but man, it's just really harsh. Bryce Love for the Redskins. And I guess it's all suspended without pay too, right? So that's going to cost him a pretty good chunk of change as well. Ooh, we got something nice on the horizon here. We have got Darius Geis for the Redskins with a little 1/1 coming out and headed your way. What do you think about that? Washington Redskins. I love hitting 1/1s. It makes me very happy. So congrats. It's a Redskins kind of box so far, isn't it? To see what else comes out of here. But right now they're on a bit of a roll. That is numbered to 249, Warren Sapp. Of course, partially I do wonder a little bit. I know Steelers are my team and everything, but I do wonder why Mason Rudolph only got a fine. I guess because he didn't actually throw a punch or whatever, but he definitely kind of kept the thing going by going after him, even after his helmet had been ripped off. And kind of if he had just shut his mouth and stopped going after him, he probably wouldn't have gotten hit in the head. That is for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is a silver prism Devin Bush. And a 199 Deebo Samuel for the 49ers. He got a fine, and I guess the reason he only got a fine is maybe because he didn't throw a punch, but honestly, he could have dialed it down too. LaShawn McCoy to 175. Looked like a hockey game out there at the end. Somebody slid off my pile here. That was Chris Jones on a base card for the Kansas City Chiefs, but he does not appear to be any worse for the wear, fortunately. Devin White and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, our autograph. And then we've got a little Danny Amendola, numbered to 75 for the Lions. Numbered to 199, that is Tyler Higbee and the Rams. So I wonder when those guys are suspended, are they not allowed like in or around team facilities, or are they still allowed to come to the facilities? Because otherwise, you got to think about like from a workout perspective and all of that stuff. He would, not that he didn't have enough money to be joining a gym or have one in his house, but you know what I mean. Not being able to be around your teammates or use the facilities of the team wouldn't be good either. Just cleaning up a mess of those little insert cards. They were kind of in my way over there, or they were going to be in a minute. George Kittle, 249 for the 49ers. That is red to 149 of Josh Norman. And that box is finished up. Meanwhile, I guess Le'Veon Bell has been getting tested a bunch since he has come back to play this year. I forget how many times it said that he had been tested, but I want to say something crazy, like 5 times since he's been back. He's gotten a quote-unquote random drug test. And according to Le'Veon, he thinks they're looking for HGH because they keep taking it as blood samples instead of urine samples. And so he came out and basically said, I'm done. I'm not going to give you any more this year. I've had enough of the quote-unquote random tests. And then I guess his coach or somebody in the organization tried to follow behind and basically say, well, he wasn't here for any of the preseason or the off-season or the whatever. And so they're just making up for lost time, testing him or something equally odd. But poor Le'Veon Bell, man, he just can't stay out of the crosshairs, can he? Of course, he has been suspended for violating the substance part of the agreement a couple of different times. So, well, that probably that probably does add to the fact why he gets maybe tested a little more than some other people. And then, of course, you've got on the flip side of that Antonio Brown, his former teammate, Jordan Scarlett. That is a silver prism for the Panthers. And then numbered to 49, have Marcus May and the Jets. So, yeah, so coming in behind that, you've now got, the never-ending circus that is Antonio Brown. He is now turned around and suing his accuser for defamation. So he basically, he's just going to stir it up every chance he gets, I think. Zach Allen to 75 for the Arizona Cardinals. And you know how he is. One day he hates the NFL. The next day he's ready to come back. I mean, he's very, whatever. So it's going to be another box with a lot more silver prisms than we typically have. David Long for the Rams. At least I think it is. There's Cam Newton and the Panthers to 249. Mainly because we've already pulled a pair of them. So this is just an oddly designed case, I suppose. You never know. You never know what they're doing over there, Panini. Hi, Strong Crosby. How are you? You said that it has been 5 times for Le'Veon. Okay, I thought it was, but wouldn't have absolutely sworn to it. To 249, Sony Michel and the Patriots. To 149, Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Bucks. And a little advertising card. I see on the top this fellow to 199. We'll just go ahead and pluck him right off the top. Just get him on out of our way, won't we? And a silver prism for the Bengals with Travion Williams. This is numbered to 175. That's Jim Kelly for the Bills. And numbered to 99, you have a little A.J. Brown for the Titans. Blue Crystal or something close to that is that pattern name, which looks suspiciously like cracked ice in my opinion. Other than obviously it is blue, but pattern wise I think it looks like cracked ice, but they call it different things at different points in time, it seems. The Green Bay Packers and Rashawn Gary. It's like Panini also does the weird things with what they call gold vinyl, which are basically the pattern that is typically known as a 1 of 1. It's a 1 of 1 in Topps. It's usually a 1 of 1 in Panini stuff, but every once in a while they'll put that same pattern out there and then make it numbered to 5 or something crazy like that. So they do some weird stuff over there, not consistent. A Foster Moreau Silver Prism for the Raiders. Numbered to 249, that is Odell Beckham Jr. And then we have A.J. Brown for the Tennessee Titans with a silver prism. And numbered to 175, that is Josh Oliver. He's a Jag, by the way. I don't know that I said that, but he is. Josh Oliver, I mean. Sorry, my mind wandered there for a second. I drifted away there for a second. Keanu Neal to 199. That finishes up that box. Opened 5. We've got 7 to go, counting the one that is coming out of the box right now as part of the 7 that I'm counting. We opened some Playbook football last night for its release date. You know, they change that configuration every year for Playbook football. And one of the years, they didn't have it at all. I can't think what year they skipped. It might have been 2017, maybe. I think it was 2017 when they just skipped it all together. But they've always done that. They've always messed with Playbook and changed what you get from year to year, which just I find so frustrating. I do like all the booklets that were in there this year. I thought that was very nice, but they did not a great job collating the hits because there were a tremendous number of hits for some teams and virtually nothing for other teams. I'm hoping that case is just an outlier and that the rest of the cases will not be quite that extreme, because it was definitely skewed last night towards a few different teams. So although I love the product, everybody wants to see it a little more evenly distributed, including me. Traquan Smith, Silver Prism, Saints. Numbered to 249, Jordan Humphrey, also Saints. But yet I do always look forward to it. And I am happy that we get booklets, so many booklets. I mean, that's nice too. Willis McGee, numbered 249 for the Buffalo Bills with a flashback autograph. Now, someone raised the point in the last case that those often come out 1 per case, but we had 1 live and a redemption for 1, I think, in the last case. So it's possible, I guess, to get more than 1. Riley Ridley and the Bears to 99. Of the flashbacks, I mean. I like them because, you know me, I like some of those old school autographs. Means we've had a hit replaced with a points card yet again. So it will go up here in housekeeping as well. We've now had 2 points cards hit, both of them for the same amount, 250 points apiece. So a pair of them up here now will be dealt out at the end of the night using random. It's to 199 LJ Collier. I see something sparkly over here. I'm just going to grab it. It's numbered to 49 James Conner and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I guess Juju's going to be out this week, still out from the concussion he suffered in the Browns game. I didn't see about Deontay Johnson, but I would certainly think he would be out as well. I mean, good Lord, he was bleeding from the ear, so, and concussed. So I would certainly think if Juju's out, Deontay Johnson would be out, but I don't know. Marquez Valdez-Scantling to 75, Packers. I mean, we can't have too many more injured players. We're like out of guys to play. We're out of roster. Jerry Rice to 249 for the 49ers. So they're going to have to figure something out anyway. To wait a minute, is that to 149? It looks like a different color, doesn't it? No, to 199, I mean. Yeah, it looks like a slightly darker color, but I guess it's not. It's Ed Reed and the Ravens. And to 199, it just, I don't know, looked like a different shade to me, sort of. Guess it wasn't. To 175, Kerryon Johnson and the Lions. Poor Lions. Are they going to keep Matt Patricia? Like, he has just bombed, hasn't he? I mean, maybe it's not all his fault. I guess it's not all his fault, but definitely some of it is. I don't know what they're going to do. Poor Detroit Lions. Well, this will make someone happy. It is a Dwayne Haskins autograph for the Redskins. How about that? Nice, right? To 149, there's Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, who have actually been on a little tear. Been playing pretty well the last few games. Jets, on the other hand, you got to think Adam Gase is maybe his seat's a little warm at this point too, I would think. I mean, he hasn't been there long, but man, he's looked bad. But then there's the poor guy with the Bengals. I can't even remember the guy's name. Brand new coach for the Bengals, starts out 0-9. I mean, that's horrible, man. Of course, that's who Steelers have this week. Even short-handed, I hope that we would win that game, but you never know. But that's got to be pretty disheartening for the Bengals to bring in this young guy, this young coach who they're looking to get so much out of. And man, it seems like they really kind of regressed. And of course, they're eliminated from the playoffs already, even at this point in the season. Which is, I guess, why they put Ryan Finley in there. I mean, why not? Get the kid some reps. See what he's got. He's done some good things. He got a little bit more to go, but he's done some good things. To 249, Pat Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs. And over here, we have Illumination, T.Y. Hilton, and the Colts. It's not numbered, but typically there's one of those Illumination per case. It's to 149, Devin Singletary. But again, since I said it's usually one per case, we'll probably find like 100. But generally, that will come out about once case. To 249, Damian Harris for the Patriots. a redemption. I didn't look at it, but you might have. But what I do is keep those face down until the end of the night. Any redemptions that we find, then I flip them all over at the end, and we go to the Panini website to verify them. Todd Gurley to 199. We also find out at that point what, if anything, it is numbered to. So that is now in housekeeping as well. We got a full little area up there for our housekeeping tonight. Silver Prism, Sean Murphy Bunting, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Numbered to 49, you've got Kurt Warner and the Arizona Cardinals. Hakeem Butler, Arizona Cardinals to 149. Little autograph hit there. To 199, it is Easton Stick and the Chargers. And then Jarvis Landry to 149 for the Browns. That's numbered to 175, Chris Harris Jr. I know, Strong Crosby, that's what I said earlier. It is really quiet. Nobody's chatting at all. Everybody's kind of in, I don't know, that midweek, although we're past midweek, but everybody's kind of in that, I'm going to stick to myself tonight mode, I guess. Antonio Brown to 175 for the Raiders. Yeah, it's uncharacteristically quiet. I don't remember the last time this quiet in chat. For the Tennessee Titans, Alex Barnes, and that is numbered to 75 there on the back. Yeah, I mean, it happens every once in a while where we will have a night where it's just really quiet, kind of like it is tonight, but not very often. Everybody's just hanging out, I think, tonight. But hey, we all have nights like that. I'm tired myself, but I always drink Red Bull. Not always, but a lot of times I'll drink Red Bull shortly before the break anyway to give myself a little energy boost. So that helps keep me on the straight and narrow. Even the cats are sleeping tonight. And you know, usually this is the time of night when they decide they're going to chase each other and act like idiots. Because they, you know, I can't do anything about it. I have to rely on somebody else to round them up if anything happens while I'm in the middle of a break. But usually that's the time they choose to chase each other and act like fools. But tonight even they must be sleeping. Everybody's quiet. To 99, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. So maybe it's just that kind of night for everybody. Man and beast, as they say. I believe we are about to see our case hit. Our little RPA case hit for Devin Singletary and the Buffalo Bills. It is numbered to 60. And that's what it looks like on the front side. So Buffalo Bills with their case hit. Charles, you had an energy drink once and you were up all night. Yeah, caffeine doesn't affect me that way in the long term. This is to 249 Deshaun Jackson for the Eagles. I mean, for sure, it gives me a quick little boost, but it is not, caffeine has never been something that has like kept me up at night or whatever. My mother has the problem like you're talking about. If she drinks any caffeine past probably about 5 o'clock in the evening, it will definitely keep her up. I mean, I could drink it and probably fall asleep 10 minutes later. Tyrell Williams for the Oakland Raiders to 199. It definitely gives me a little short-term boost, but that's it. I don't have any trouble falling asleep from it. Strong Crosby, you said the Texans and the Colts are tied at 10 at the half. All right, cool. I wasn't even thinking we would be at halftime yet on that game, but I guess we did start at 9 tonight, didn't we? We started earlier so much lately, I get confused. Green Bay Packers to 175. So yeah, I guess that does make sense then. Yeah, I agree with you. I like the RPAs in here. I mean, it's a shame they're just a case hit. It's to 149. Love to have a few more of those in every case, wouldn't we? It's to 249 for the Kansas City Chiefs. But of course, Prism's always going to be popular, honestly, whether they have the RPAs, whether they don't. I mean, Prism's just, it's one of the flagship brands, if you will, of Panini that always everybody looks forward to, I think. Kind of in all the sports. Andrew Luck in the Indianapolis Colts Silver Prism. To 249, Nick Bosa in the 49ers. To 175, Amari Cooper and the Cowboys. I do like when they give us case hits, though. You know, some products, they don't give them to you. To 199, Tariq Cohen. In fact, a lot of them don't really have technical case hits in them. But I like it when they give them to us. Gives you something to look forward to, I think. Extra something or another. No matter what it is. I mean, it's not always an RPA, but regardless. Detroit Lions, Ty Johnson. You were hoping for TJ Hawkinson, I bet, if you have the Lions. I can't say I blame you. We might find him yet. We've got 4 boxes to go. And our last autograph held out to the very last card out of that box. Quadri Allison for the Falcons. So then, we have opened 8, and we have 4 left. Oh, Aaron, I read your mind, did I? You must have the Lions tonight. Yeah, right? I know. Like, you're going, oh my God, why do I get Ty Johnson every time? We've all been there, man. I mean, it always happens that way, doesn't it? Like, you want one certain rookie for your team, and you'll pull 100 of the one you don't want to every one of the one you do want. And that seems like it happens a lot. Of course, you know, sometimes it works out. I've talked about that before. Not always, but sometimes. Like the year that it was Dak and Zeke. I mean, everybody wanted Zeke, obviously. Dak was drafted so far back, nobody expected him to be the starter or necessarily even the presumptive starter. It was all about pulling Zeke. And if you got Dak, it was like, you know, I want Zeke. And then, how the tables turned a few months later. So sometimes it works out that way. It definitely doesn't work out that way all the time, but sometimes it does. Aaron, you also are looking for Will Grier. All right, so we're searching Will Grier from the Panthers and TJ Hawkinson from the Lions for you. Well, we'll see if the mojo will maybe bring you one or both. We'll do our best here anyway. That is Riley Ridley for the Bears to 199. We got a little advertising card hanging out there on the back. We do. Felt like there was one on the back of that, but there isn't. Redskins, man. Redskins are hitting like crazy in here tonight. And you're going to add to your haul with Kelvin Harmon. Followed by John Ursua. I don't know how you say his last name. I've never heard it pronounced. Seattle Seahawks. And I don't pull him very often either, so I don't even know very much about him. I don't even know if that is good or bad or indifferent where that guy's concerned. But I do know that Joe Montana is not good, bad, or indifferent. He was just good. That is numbered to 75 for the 49ers. Charles said Riley Ridley hasn't played at all this year. I didn't realize that. How come? It's to 249 down to Hightower. I really didn't even realize that he hadn't played all year. Huh. Is he injured or bad? Which of the two? Alexander Madison for the Vikings. To 249, Devontae Adams and the Packers. Yeah, it was that guy John Ursua for the Seahawks is the one. I have no idea about him. I have no idea if he's good or bad or not. I really don't remember him at all. But of course, Riley Ridley, one would have expected to have played, so something must be going on with him. To 99, Will Greer and the Panthers. And there's Danny Amendola. That is camo to 25 for the Lions. So basically, he's just not good enough. Okay, not injured then, just too many wide receivers for the Bears, you said. All right. Well, that is surprising, really. Will Fuller, 149, Texans. Maybe he'll work his way in there before the season's over. 175, Joe Flacco and the Broncos. And there you go. That might be why we have points cards. If you've got the Cardinals tonight, Kyler Murray is your man. Here he comes. Kyler is handsome looking card. That is a prism. It is not numbered, but at least you did get a nice little silver prism Kyler Murray autograph if you are the Arizona Cardinals. Still 199, Dexter Lawrence. All right, we have 9 opened. We have 3 remaining. Yeah, Charles, I guess I just haven't watched the Bears play a lot this year. I don't know. I mean, I hadn't even noticed it. It wasn't kind of on my radar, I guess, to begin with, Riley Ridley particularly, because I hadn't been watching the Bears a lot. But anyway, good to know. For future reference. You know, Obsidian football was supposed to be next week. I like Obsidians. Last year, first year for it? I think it was. I think it was just been 1 year. Could have been 2. I think 1. Anyway, I really like it. And it was supposed to come out next week, but they moved it. I want to say it's sometime in December now, maybe. They actually announced that move last week, so I was looking forward to it, though. But it'll give us time to break some other stuff we need to break instead. Number 299, that is Tyler Eifert for Cincinnati. I do have more Prism, but I'm not sure if I'm going to break it. To 149, Marquise Blair. I may just sell it as the sealed case. I've got somebody who's offered me a pretty good amount of money for what I have left, so I may just sell them. I've got about another 4 or 5 cases left, I think, anyway, besides what we've already broken. Number to 175, that is Leonard Fournette. Number 249, you have Calvin Johnson and the Lions. Getting all kinds of Lions numbered cards, but none of them are your guy so far. None of them are TJ Hawkinson. What's up with that? Got to work hard and get that turned around, don't we? Jonathan Abram for the Raiders. And number to 249, that is Zach Allen for the Cardinals. Followed by Paris Campbell autograph, number to 149, Indianapolis Colts. So I wonder what the hip injury is going to do to Tua's draft stock. So, you know, I think he was the presumptive number 1 pick before the injury. I mean, there are arguments to be made that maybe a couple of other guys could have been nipping at his heels, but you know, the dislocated hip, I really didn't think, honestly, would be as big a deal as apparently it is. I mean, I knew it would be painful, etc. I don't mean that. Brian Burns and the Panthers were getting the right teams and the wrong players for poor Aaron. He's like, dang it, that is not Will Grier. But apparently with those hip displacements like that, where it gets, you know, knocked out of place, it's to 199, Frank Gore, Buffalo Bills. And it can cause, I guess, all kinds of problems with, I guess, arteries, veins, ligaments, whatever, that goes on to affect your lower extremity, your lower leg, and cause some related problems. Apparently, those are a lot more severe injuries than I would have thought originally. Jordan Akins and the Texans. Number to 75, it is Dalvin Cook for the Vikings. I mean, for sure, you know it would be painful. And for sure, we knew it was going to require some surgical intervention, but I had no idea it was as complex as it is. Jalen Ramsey to 249. And I guess in some cases, they say people don't really get their full range of motion back or their full mobility back and that sort of stuff. But apparently, you know, they got to this injury pretty quickly and got it sorted pretty quickly, so they're hoping there's not long-lasting damage. To 249, O.J. Howard. But the flip side of that is, apparently you won't know the full extent of whether or not there was long-lasting damage for about a year. Which means draft time will have come and gone. So it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is somebody willing to gamble, say, the number 1 pick on a guy that might not be ever back at 100%? I'm sure they'll know more by the time draft time rolls around. You'll probably have a better picture, as much of a better picture as you can have, without really getting him back into action, but I got to think that that could really cause some some thought as to whether or not he falls in the draft and how much he falls in the draft. I find it hard to think, knowing what I know about it now, that he would stay at the number 1 pick, given all of that. So it's really unfortunate for that young man. And because as well, he was, Alabama was so far ahead. That's why everybody was critical of Nick Saban over the decision to leave him in the game, because Alabama was so far ahead. And then you leave him in, and that's what happens. But nobody can predict that. Nick Saban or otherwise, nobody's going to predict that. Oh, yeah, Strong Crosby, you're right. I had forgotten about that, but you're right. Bo Jackson, he had a hip injury as well that ended his career. I had forgotten that that's what happened to him till you just said that. But yeah, I guess, was it the same thing? Was it also dislocated hip, or was it something different? That's to 199 for the Rams. Yeah, I'd forgotten all about that. The Titans and A.J. Brown to 149. Charles, you think he'll still get drafted really high regardless of the injury? Yeah, I mean, maybe, but I just don't think, I think it knocks him out of the number 1 spot unless they learn a whole lot more about it between now and draft day. Which, sure, there's a certain amount you are going to learn about it, and they'll be considerably more knowledgeable then than they are now. But I don't think you fully know how it impacts the guy, oh my goodness, sorry, until he gets back out on the field and tries to go out and play ball. And you're not going to be doing that apparently for about a year. Joe Hayden to 199. And it is not every day that you get a number 1 draft pick to play with. And boy, if you get it wrong, that's your head on a platter. So I think it's going to be difficult for anybody to justify that. Myles Gaskin and the Dolphins. I think he falls quite a bit personally. But then again, I've been wrong before. Like, I never thought Lamar Jackson would fall all the way down to the last pick of the first round that somebody had to trade back up in to get him. I thought Lamar Jackson would have been a first rounder without a lot of question. And look what happened to him. And then I didn't think Baker Mayfield would necessarily go number 1 overall, and he did. So there you go. To 250 points, another hit replaced by points cards. And that's to 249 for the Lions with Fulham. Charles, oh, it was a fracture dislocation, Strong Crosby's telling me, for Bo Jackson. So a little bit different, I guess, than what Tua's got going on, because I don't think his was fractured, just dislocated, but either way, sounds bad. And then we have Carson Wentz for the Eagles, numbered to 10. That's only our second gold one of the night. So at this moment in time, we have only the 2 that are numbered to 10. It's to 175, the Broncos, Brett Rypien. Number to 149, there's Ed Reed and the Ravens. Number 275, if I can get all this other stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and look at Kelvin Harmon because he was hanging out there by himself. Number 275, it is LaDainian Tomlinson, and that is the Chargers. Are you talking about Joe Burrows, Charles? Or is that the guy, isn't that guy's name? Maybe it isn't, I don't know. TJ Watt, Silver Prism. Steelers. To 249, Marcus Peters and the Rams. Number 299, Tom Brady and the Patriots. Yeah, that is who you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, I mean, had Tua stayed healthy, that was kind of, I think, the back and forth consideration between the two of them. But now that Tua has had this happen, I do think that moves him up a bit, perhaps. All right, it is last box. So last box mojo time kicking in for us right now. We're going to hope to pull some fire out of here. Yeah, LSU's been playing great lately. Well, really all year. I shouldn't say lately. They've been playing very well all year long and well beyond even this year. But yeah, LSU's getting it together, aren't they? There should be some other quarterbacks next year that'll be first rounders too, even outside of Burrows. I think it'll be a decent quarterback draft in the upcoming year. To 249, Dion Lewis, Titans. That always makes the early season football cards a lot of fun because, you know, we're all speculating about how the quarterbacks are going to do. So it always makes it a little more fun when it's a good quarterback class. Here's your Will Grier, Aaron. Last box mojo worked for you, my friend. Numbered to 75. That's the one you've been looking for, or one of the ones you've been looking for anyway. Number to 149, Gary Jennings Jr., the Seahawks. Green Bay Packers get another hit. This one numbered to 50 is Amon Green. Packers have a lot of hits in here tonight, I do believe. I mean, we'll see it when we recap, but I want to say that's like, is that the third or fourth autograph maybe tonight for the Packers? They've definitely had two. I think they've had more. To 249, the Jets. But we'll find out shortly. We will, of course, recap all of this fun stuff at the end. To 199, the Packers. Number to 75, it is Eli Manning. What's going to happen with Eli? You think he's just going to retire? Is he just going to be like, yeah, I'm done? Or is he going to allow himself to be traded or become a free agent? Or I don't remember if he's in a contract year or not. But anyway, is he going to go to another team? Or is he just going to say, nah, I'm done? I'm finished. To 175, Calvin Ridley, Bears. Or Falcons. That wasn't Riley. That was Calvin. Falcons. Sorry. My bad. And there is a Clelin Ferrell Silver Prism for the Raiders. I can't get this sleeve open. What is the deal with you, stupid sleeve? There we go. It's like those little produce bags in the grocery store, man. Some of those things don't want to open. Number to 99, it is Troy Brown, Patriots. Number to 49, Marcus Mariota, Tennessee Titans. That is another guy who's probably going to be playing on a different team next year. I would certainly think. Once you get benched for Ryan Tannehill, you're probably not going to stick with that team that you're on. That's my guess anyway. Be a little bit of musical quarterbacks next year. It's to 175, Kenny Stills, Dolphins. And our last live autograph is not live at all. It's another redemption. All right, so let me get a little organization going here, and then I'll tell you how this is going to work. We will first flip over our 2 redemptions, and then we will go to the Panini website and find out what, if anything, those are numbered to. And we will also verify the teams. We're probably going to know the teams when we flip them over, but we will go to the website anyway because I'm a nerd like that. That's how I do it. After that, we will use random.org and give away those 250 rewards points that you see there and find those a new home. After all of that, we'll recap that stuff up there, which is our silver prisms, our autographs, our case hit RPA, and our cards that are numbered to 49 or lower, not our higher numbered cards because there's a lot of them. Our first redemption is going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is Benny Snell Jr. Rookie autographs. So we'll go ahead and label that up, but we will, as I said, check it out on the Panini website. Our second one around is David Montgomery. There, the Bears. Rookie autographs as well. And we'll find out what, if anything, that one is numbered to when we get over here to the good old Panini website and use their handy-dandy checklist. See what they can tell us. Both of those card sets are the same. They just say rookie autographs, I think. I'll double check it here in a second. Whoops. Yeah, there's nothing else after that. And so Benny Snell is card number 332. David Montgomery is card number 327. Whoa, what? What was that? That was weird. I don't know what that message was. How about we just start over? Because that seemed like some kind of... What? See, there it is again. What is going on with the Panini website at this moment? All right, Panini website, are you being like crazy? Let's just go all the way out because it's acting very oddly. Yeah, huh. I don't even know what that means. Something is not a function. Huh. Okay. Well, let's bring you back to me for a minute. And I'm going to just close that whole tab out and see if I open a whole new tab, what happens. I have literally never seen that, whatever that message was before on here. All right, let's close out. Let's go to the new, let's go to the new tab. We're going to see if the new tab works or not. It might, and it might not, but we're going to see if it does. Sometimes that works. I don't know why, but sometimes it will. No, it doesn't. So, alrighty, there we go. Now we know. So I guess we will not be finding out what, if anything, those are numbered to because, well, you see the same thing I see. It keeps giving us some weird message about E-trim is not a function. I don't even know what the heck that means. So we'll give up on trying to find out what they're numbered to, but I do prefer to put it on the screen, but looks like we can't tonight. But David Montgomery is a rookie for the Bears, and I'm sure everybody knows that. Benny Snell Jr. is a rookie for the Steelers. I'm sure everybody knows that too. Since those don't have any colors or numbers or parallels after it, and it just says rookie autographs, I would assume that it is a base rookie autograph. I would not have expectations of it being numbered. That is the way I read that. I like to confirm it, but in this case, we could not. So we're going to move on down the road. We have those 3 250 points cards that you just saw me line up there. And what is happening here? I got something else going on here too. Man, my whole thing is crazy tonight. What is that about? I don't know. But anyway, here's what we need to know. We're going to copy all of the teams from the spreadsheet. I'm going to go to random.org and paste them in. And because we have 10 or more items in our list, I will hit random one single time. When we have 9 or fewer, I do random 3 times and only the third random counts. When we have 10 or more, as we do here, it will be a single time. I'm scrolling through so everyone can see each team was copied and pasted into the list. Good luck, everyone. It will be the teams in the first, second, and third position after we randomize. Each one will get a 250 points card. So it is going Dolphins, Redskins, and Cardinals. Each will get one of those rewards points cards. Dolphins, Redskins, and Cardinals. All right, so let me get these labeled up. Dolphins, they're in sleeves because I like to write on them because it makes it quicker and easier when I am sorting if I don't even have to think about it. But I know I make a mess when I do it, but don't worry. You can just throw that little sleeve away when you get it, and then no worries, right? No worries. Silver prisms. We have a lot more than normal tonight. We had some weird boxes in terms of extra silver prisms, but anyway, here we go. This is what we've got. Raiders, Steelers, Texans, Vikings, Colts, Buccaneers. This is, I believe, a case hit. Illumination. That's T.Y. Hilton for the Colts. The Saints, the Titans, Raiders, Bengals, Rams, Panthers, Steelers, Chargers, the Browns. That is the Patriots, the Raiders, the Patriots, the Lions, and the Colts. So those are our silver prisms for tonight. These are our cards that are numbered to 49 or lower. To 10, you have L.J. Collier for the Seahawks. To 10, Carson Wentz and the Eagles. To 25, Danny Amendola for the Lions. To 25, Sony Michel for the Patriots. This next whole group, they are each to 49. So you've got Titans, Lions, Cardinals, Steelers, Jets, Jags, and Texans. All of those numbered to 49. Now our hits. Let's get them up here. Line them up and take a look. We have 250 points to the Redskins, 250 points to the Dolphins, 250 points to the Cardinals. Random.org was used to assign those. A redemption for the Steelers. We were not able to get the Panini website to cooperate, but I don't think this is numbered. And that is Benny Snell Jr. for the Steelers. Ditto for this. David Montgomery and the Bears, I think, will also probably not be numbered. We have Akeem Butler for the Cardinals. That is numbered to 149. Dwayne Haskins, that is not numbered, but it is a Prism parallel autograph. Then you have a flashback autograph for Willis McGee and the Buffalo Bills. Green Bay Packers, Rashawn Gary. The Cardinals for Zach Allen, numbered to 75. Devin White and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This sweet little one of one. It's not autographed, but it's in there because, well, yeah, it's a one of one. It's Darius Geis for the Redskins, who actually hit a lot in this break. They had a good break tonight, the Redskins did. Speaking of, there's another one. Bryce Love autograph. There's Dexter Williams, Green Bay Packers. Lonnie Johnson Jr. for the Texans to 149. Joejuan Williams for the Patriots. Andy Isabella Cardinals to 75. Preston Williams, Dolphins. Easton Stick, Chargers. Julian Love for the Giants. And Clelin Ferrell for the Raiders. The Packers and Amon Green to 50. Will Greer for the Carolina Panthers to 75. The Dolphins and Myles Gaskin. Numbered to 149. It's A.J. Brown and the Titans. Brian Burns, Panthers. To 149, Paris Campbell and the Colts. The Raiders with Jonathan Abram. Kyler Murray for the Cardinals. Oh, man, hang on. I got to sneeze. Sorry. Oh, I sneezed into my shoulder, too, so don't worry. It didn't go on your cards or my hands. John Ursua for the Seahawks. It's another one for the Redskins with Kelvin Harmon. Quadre Allison for the Falcons. Ty Johnson for the Lions. Numbered to 75. It's Alex Barnes and the Titans. Our RPA case hit, Devin Singletary and the Buffalo Bills, numbered to 60. All right, so there's the break. There's the recap. I am going to put up spreadsheet information. If you missed it earlier, stay tuned. You can find out when you can expect your item to ship. We'll also take a look at what is coming up in the days ahead if you're interested in any of that. As it stands right now, I'm anticipating that this will ship out the door and on the way to you approximately Tuesday. Now, if I'm able to get it out to you sooner than that, I will absolutely do so. However, I do have family in this weekend. I'm taking Saturday and Sunday off, so given that, Tuesday is where we're sitting. And as I said, if I can sneak in a little extra time to get some work done, I will. Everybody pull cards here. Consolation cards do not come into play. All cards ship from this break, so everybody's going to get a nice big package full of cards. Here's what's coming up in the days ahead. Tomorrow night, we're going to start at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. We'll be opening a half case of Hoops basketball. Please note that Veteran Base does not ship to the teams in that break. It has a separate bidding category. Both Saturday and Sunday are off nights. Monday night will be busy. Half case of autographed mini football helmets, half case of flawless baseball, full case of immaculate football, full case of high-tech baseball. On Tuesday, we'll be pretty busy again. We're going to do a half case of Leaf autographed football jerseys, a full case of Leaf best of Leaf blah blah blah, a full case of Leaf best baseball, an inner case of Playbook football, and an inner case of Topps Triple Threads baseball. Wednesday isn't listed yet on eBay, but it's coming soon. It'll probably get listed most likely tomorrow or Saturday. Then on Thursday, which is Thanksgiving, we are going to do a little breaking. We'll do a full case of Leaf autographed full-size football helmets. There are 3 in a case. And then we will do a half case of Topps Heritage High Number Baseball. So that is how things shake out that are already listed on eBay at this point in time. That is it for me tonight, kids. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending part of your Thursday with me. I hope you have a great Friday and a nice weekend ahead. And if I don't see you again tomorrow night, come back and see me next week. I always like the company. Until next time, bye now.